When Auburn went and claimed 7 new national titles in 2025, I made a video on it and how legit I feel each one of those were. And then, of course, Alabama came to mind. Then I started to wonder, who else is worth a deeper look? My answer? Everyone. So that's exactly what the hell I'm going to do. I'm doing a video on every team that has ever claimed a national championship. Let's get chronic. Prior to the college football playoffs and BCS national title game, we relied only on the polls to determine the national champion, despite the Bowl Coalition's attempts to better things for a few years. The polling system failed many times, with as many as 4 to 6 teams in contention that never even played each other. This often resulted in many split national championship years. Go back a few more years to 1965. Prior to that year, some polls voted on their national champions before the bowl games were even played and then saw their champion lose the final game. Go back even further. In 1936, the AP poll is created and is often the most respected poll for many years to come. But prior to that, we have a wild, lawless 67 years of college football where many or no teams called themselves national champions, and a lot of these teams didn't claim national titles in this era until more modern polls and systems went back and retroactively named them national champions. Confused yet? You should be. While the AP poll is often the benchmark for a champion from 1936 to 1998, I would still argue that point. If the AP named you champion and nobody else did, that smells a bit fishy. Personally, I tend to side with what a majority of the polls say. So if the AP poll says you're the champ, but like 11 others don't, I rethink the situation. And that's just me. You are free to do or think whatever you like. And of course, any titles won through the playoffs or BCS national title game are automatically 100% legit from the start of the video, even if you disagree with the selection committee. And on the flip side, any that claim a separate title outside of those parameters are ultimately complete bullshit, whether the selection committee screwed that team or not. History is history, and I respect that fact. For the purposes of this channel, I'm only going to go by what the school actually claims. I have broken my tiers into 4 sections: 100% legit, debatable but fair, I see your argument but no, and then just complete bullshit. In this one, and with the first few I post, we're going to lump some together that only claim one. Colorado claims the 1990 national championship, and whoo! Buckle up, Buttercup, because this one is about to get wild and complicated. Now, the deeper story of this season can be found in my Best Coaches of All Time series, the one that includes Colorado. Please go check that out. But for this video, I'm going to try and keep it a little more brief and focus mainly on the title in question. The Buffaloes had just come off an 11-1 1989 season in which their star quarterback from previous seasons died of very aggressive stomach cancer not long before the head coach's daughter gave birth to their child, and then the team lost a heartbreaker in the national title. So now that we're all caught up on the lead into 1990, here we go. The 1990 team tied number 8 Tennessee 31-31 to start the year, and then lost Game 3 23-22 at number 21 Illinois. Not quite the start of a champion usually. From there, Colorado beat number 22 Texas and number 12 Washington before one of the most controversial games of all time with Missouri. If you need to pause and just search 5th down game, many have made videos on it, and if you go watch that previously mentioned Best Coach video, I cover it there in pretty good detail. Basically, Missouri pulled off the upset by holding Colorado out of the end zone near the end of the game. However, a huge mistake was made due to ref distractions and heart attacks in the stands, and Colorado got a 5th down to go in for the winning score. From there, they won out, beating number 22 Oklahoma, number 3 Nebraska, and number 5 Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl while holding the number 1 ranking coming in. Colorado, even at 11-1-1, had most of the polls and selectors, including the AP poll, to pick them as national champions. Georgia Tech at 11-0-1 got the nod from the coaches poll by a single vote. For Colorado, the loss hurts, the tie hurts, and the Missouri game was just bullshit, but beating 5 ranked teams doesn't hurt at all. Mistakes happen, and refs have given away games and still do, but I can't really hold that part against Colorado, they just played the game. Tech beat 4 ranked teams, including number 1 Virginia in early November. Just for fun, before we place this championship on a tier, let's compare common opponents for the two. Both teams played a ranked Nebraska, with the Buffs winning by 15 and the Jackets winning by 24. Logic says, put these two in a bowl game and settle it, but we did not have logic in 1990, and sometimes still don't. Given the strength of schedules and common opponent, this game would have likely been very close, and I couldn't even guess a winner without wading through some stats, but Eric Bieniemy did finish 3rd in the Heisman voting, so maybe Colorado wins on offensive firepower, but that's just throwing out speculation. There's also a theory that Tom Osborne of Nebraska changed his vote in the coaches poll just to deny Colorado the consensus title. Again, speculation. This title has some shadiness for sure, and valid arguments around it, but ultimately I say debatable but fair. Center College. Yeah, I know, who cares? I cares, because I said I was doing them all. Center is in Division III today and is actually coming off a conference title and playoff appearance in 2024, but in 1919, everyone was in the same pool. The Praying Colonels have an impressive slate of results, winning one game 95-0 and beating modern FBS notables such as Indiana, Virginia, West Virginia, and Kentucky. The team actually led the nation in scoring with 485 points and only gave up 23 with 5 shutouts to finish 9-0. Keep in mind, there was a huge bias towards the Northeast and Midwest in that day, and Center is located in Kentucky. Though ultimately, I'm not sure if it'll matter, but let's see. Harvard, Illinois, and Texas A&M are most commonly accepted as champs in 1919, and all schools claimed the title. Notre Dame also had a few selectors pick them, but the Irish do not claim it, so we won't worry about them. Harvard went 9-0-1, tying Princeton, and of course played what was considered a stronger schedule in that era. On the other hand, one of those wins was against a YMCA, so let's not give them all the credit in the world. They were named national champions by multiple selectors and co-champions by several more. Illinois went 6-1 with a 14-10 loss to Wisconsin, but the Big Ten was already a respected conference and garnered a lot of national attention. Finally, Texas A&M went 10-0 and shut out every team in the process with a combined score of 275-0. Their schedule strength is hard to gauge, as most notable names today had not fully come into their own at that time. I've got to be honest, this is a tough call. Harvard is over here playing a YMCA in Massachusetts, but for all I know, that was a more quality opponent than Howard Payne, who Texas A&M played. But Harvard almost certainly had more favorable opinions from voters and got preferred treatment. Over 100 years later, and there's no way to realistically discredit or legitimize anyone, at least not by me. The hell with it. 1919 Center, I'm going with debatable but fair. Beating everyone that badly has to count for something, even if the limited media gave you no attention. BYU in 1984. This one is a nice story where everything just went right. I go into this season deeper also in one of my best coaching videos, so please go check that out also. And since I covered it extensively there, I'll summarize more here. BYU began 1984 with a huge 20-14 upset over number 3 Pitt, which made this team a real contender immediately. They followed that performance with 12 straight wins, including the Holiday Bowl over Michigan. My only gripe is that none of these teams were ranked. After the bowl, BYU was named consensus national champion, and the way they got there was simple. Everyone who was seemingly supposed to win the title just kept falling short. Washington lost as the number 1 team in their second to last game. Number 2, Oklahoma lost their bowl game to Washington. Early woes left Florida just outside. Number 1, Nebraska lost the last game of the regular season, and BYU was just the last one left standing at 13-0. This title is 100% legit. To this day, BYU is the only team outside a power conference to win the national title in current day FBS. Boston College claims their only title in 1940. The Eagles went 11-0, beating the likes of number 9 Georgetown 19-18 in the regular season and number 4 Tennessee 19-13 in the Sugar Bowl to finish the season ranked 5th with 6 shutouts on the season. And remember, if you've watched any of the other videos, the polls released their final rankings before the bowls at this time, so their win over Tennessee didn't matter to them, but to us, now looking at it with glasses on, we will see. Minnesota, Stanford, and Tennessee all claimed national titles in 1940. Right off the bat, we can discredit Tennessee for losing the head-to-head and for having only the Dunkel system select them. As for Minnesota, they went 8-0 with wins over 3 ranked teams. More on that when we get to their video. And then they finished number 1 as the AP national champion. Stanford went 10-0, beating 5 ranked opponents, including a Rose Bowl win over number 7 Nebraska. Despite not getting the AP vote, Stanford got enough major selectors for me to not discredit them. But again, I'll cover them when their own video comes up. So, who named 5th ranked Boston College national champions? Nobody did. You heard that right. Nobody named the Eagles national champions. They just named themselves national champions. That's not how that worked back then, and that's not how that works now. You can't even nominate yourself for high school class president or prom king. I respect that you went undefeated and beat Tennessee, who claims the title, but that didn't win you a single selector, even in retrospect. I think we'd be having a different discussion if they put out a poll after the bowls, but it would still be a stretch over Minnesota and Stanford. 1940 Boston College is complete bullshit. Arkansas is holding tightly to the 1964 National Championship as a proud program, with some historically tough times compared to the teams around them. After starting 4-0, the Razorbacks had climbed to a number 8 ranking, entering a contest against number 1 Texas on the road. Arkansas won that game 14-13 to raise them to number 4. They would close out the regular season unbeaten and ranked number 2, and then beat number 6 Nebraska in the Cotton Bowl to finish a perfect 11-0. Alabama and Notre Dame were also named national champions, but Notre Dame does not claim it, so let's focus on Arkansas and Alabama. Alabama went through the regular season undefeated with wins over number 9 Florida, number 8 LSU, and number 10 Georgia Tech. The APN coaches poll then named them the national champions before the bowl game. This would be the last year polls named their champion before bowls, and here is why. Alabama lost to number 5 Texas in the Orange Bowl. The same Texas team Arkansas beat and ended up being the only loss Texas had in 1964. While you can't hold it against Alabama necessarily that polls made stupid decisions up until the next season, you also can't take anything away from Arkansas, who did everything right and beat the team Alabama could not. Arkansas is named national champions by various polls also, including one conducted after the bowl games by the Football Writers Association of America. This Arkansas title claim is 100% legit, and I wish for their sake it wasn't even up for debate with another team, but due to flawed practices of the time, wrong as they are, it always will be. And there we go. If you feel I was unfair or missed a piece of info, go ahead and make your case in the comments. And remember, this is just one guy on YouTube who did some research and gave an opinion. I'm sure I won't change any fan base's opinion on the titles they choose to boast about.
Jerry, just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
This has been College Football Chronicles, and I hope you join me next time.